Gosh. Mic check one, mic check two. Boy, all I can do is laugh. I was sitting here so happy and excited that I got everything set up and ready to go, and I'll be doggone. I ain't had a program for the sound to be on. I was about to be talking to myself. I looked up, I said, wait a minute, something ain't right. But guys, I've been working all day to get this together. So I'm excited because I got some new features and stuff that we're going to work out tonight and get through this thing. But let's get to it. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I am your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God it is Friday. Thank God. Let me pull this information up right quick over here. There we go. So tonight we are taking a look at ticker SMPL. You might know them better as Simply Good Foods. The Simply Good Foods company was founded in 2017 by Jim Kiltz and Dave West, with the first office opening in Denver, Colorado. Now they are a $1 billion publicly traded company in the packaged foods industry in the consumer staples sector. And they aren't listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of the Simply Good Foods competitors are Bell Ring Brands, Nomad Foods, and Flower Foods. We're going to review Simply Good Foods earnings, their website, and visit the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check the stream poll. Let's do it. Let's do it. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB in the chat if you're tuning in from Facebook. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it. Oh, we got this new little feature and I got everything set up. Let's get to the earnings. Simply Good Foods, ticker SMPL. The $976 million company reported its second quarter fiscal 2026 earnings yesterday. And they have a 52-week high of $38.15, which took place in April last year, and a 52-week low of $10.21 that occurred yesterday, which is a trading range of $27.94, and they closed today at $10.55. Simply Good Foods earnings report missed on the top line, reporting revenue of $326 million, which was lower than the market expectations of $345 million. Yes, but beat on the bottom line as massive non-cash impairment. Beat on the bottom line as a massive non-cash impairment charge led to a substantial quarterly GAAP loss. EPS was higher than the analyst and market expectation of 41 cents when they reported an adjusted EPS of 45 cents. Simply Good Foods reported a GAAP net loss of $159.7 million, which was a swing to unprofitability compared to the $36.7 million net income they reported this same quarter last year. So for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, they were significantly more profitable compared to now a year later. The earnings were released before the market opened, followed by an 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time conference call. As far as guidance, management lowered its fiscal 2026 outlook, citing weaker consumption trends for the Atkins brand. That 52-week high compared to today's closing price of $10.55 represents a decline of 72.3% over a span of approximately a year, 12 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in April last year at that 52-week high of $38.15, they would be seeing a loss of $723. All right. Let's talk about why. Let's talk about the why behind browsing company websites. We're looking for clues in the visuals or text to help us find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services do the company sell? How important are they to their customers? What makes this company stand out from competition? How do they take care of their employees? To find these answers, we browse 4 areas on the company's website: their homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, and mission statements, careers for employees, benefits, and opportunities, investors relations, the SEC filings, and stock quotes. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's stream are down in the description. Now let's go back to Simply Good Foods website. Let's check that website out. I got this up. Wait a minute. Let's blow it up. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. All right. Here is their website. And we already know they sell foods. That's their good and or services. That's their goods. Here are some of the brands that they have. They have financial news on the homepage. And here's the about us. So here's our purpose, our values. Let's click on our purpose. And I'm using a new tool. So I'm using a different type of window. I hope this is smooth. I ain't never used this before. So if I'm used to running into problems on the live stream anyway. So if something happens, we'll handle it as it comes up. So we zoomed in. That seems to be working fine. So here's the purpose statement. We're raising the bar on what food can be. The link is down in the description. You can read over this. I just want to show where you can find it. Here is our values. Leading the charge. They have a few things here. So you can read over this. And now let's go over to careers. Let's find out what's going on with the benefits and employees. They mentioned the purpose again. Now they have the commitment over here with the employees. And here's a repetitious thing with the, what was that? Our values. They put that over here too. So here's their health benefits right here in this section. Here's some financial benefits like retirement plans. Here's the things, the incentives they give employees, tuition reimbursement. Have I seen this before? They talking about pet insurance. You can put insurance on your pets. What's going on with that? Hybrid work environment. I don't see internship. Like we've been seeing that a lot lately. The links are down in the description for you to browse this website for your convenience. You can find this company website right down in the description. All right, so we looked at careers. Let's go over to investors. And here's the SEC filings. This is where you find it. We usually don't pull those up. We're looking for the stock information. Here we are. So here's the stock information on the website. Okay, so earlier I said that they closed at $10.55. This saying is $10.44. So that's another thing we got to look at to get this script together, okay? Caught it. And it didn't give the specific date. It was given the months about the 52-week highs and the 52-week lows. They don't mention the date or the month here. But this is where you find the chart and the stock quote on their actual website. So let's go over here to the disclaimer about what we're going to cover next. So before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. Traders lose critical detail and advanced platform features on a mobile screen. So be advised that trading from a phone is usually the least effective way for managing assets. To see every detail, use a full trading platform and watch these streams on a computer or TV. Only use a phone as a last resort. Now let's look at the charts for Simply SMPL, ticker SMPL. Let's go over to the charts. Let's pull that up. It didn't do it. There we go. So we got the charts pulled up right over here in the symbol box. SMPL, put the ticker symbol in. And here we are. So we have covered this company before, and I already have the trend line on there from covering it then whenever we covered it. And I believe this is a 2-year. This is a 2-year daily chart that we're looking at. So let's change this to a 1 year. And now I see why it was a 2 year. So let's go back. I want to cover this first before we do the technical analysis on this, because it's pretty much already done. And let me put this on the screen too. I want to make sure we keep this on the screen. So if somebody just now tuning in, they'll be able to see what ticker company we're looking at. It'd be very visible for them. So we're going to put this back on the 2 year daily candles. And I'm going to drag this down. So when I mouse over this time frame, we're going to find out how long it took for this stock to decline and where it started at. I believe that's that 52-week high. So it should say 72%. That's what we talked about in the earnings earlier. Yep. So there's the 72%. So since this is a decline and we're talking about like the buy low, sell high opportunities, we're not even going to cover that. Let's go ahead and move on to the 1 year daily chart. So I didn't really draw support and resistance on this. I drew this trend line. And as you can see, it's still following this trend line. So the stock price where we're trading at right now is going to be right here in this area for the last 2 trading sessions. So the red candle is today and the green candle was Thursday. So I'm going to zoom in because we can just focus on this area right here. So it's still holding true to this trend line. And as you can see, it came back down and tested that trend line as support. And when it caught it on Thursday, it recovered. It dipped below it. It recovered, but it failed to reach this 9-day simple moving average, this green dotted line or dash line, your green dash line. And it's still trading below the 200-day simple moving average, which is the white dash line up here. So that's what I'm seeing on the charts. If we were to draw support, I really wouldn't be able to see it besides this trend line that I'm looking at. So I would just draw resistance, and I would say resistance would be in this area right here. So if the price can recover, it might find trouble around here, where I just put that line at $13.71. So let's cover the stock quote for this stock for Simply. So I'm gonna go to my floating data box to show you how to do that. You go to settings. If you haven't seen me do that before, go to floating, apply. Okay, so now when we mouse over, we can get the data. So Simply opened today at $11.56. They had a high of $11.58. They had a low of $10.38. They closed today at $10.44, not $10.55 that I said earlier, which also kind of threw off the percentage change from the 52-week high to the low. So there's your advisory about that. The trading range for today was $1.21. And when we look at the trading volume, this stock traded roughly 8.6 million shares of this stock today. And when we look at the average trading volume, I'm going to take me off the screen so you can see it. It's not blocking it. Here's the average volume. So this stock usually trades about 1.7 million shares in a trading session. And today, when we look at the volume rank percentile over here, only one day out of the most recent 252 trading days had higher volume than today. So it was the 99.6 volume rank percentile, which is very significant for this stock. And when we look at the volume for today compared to what the average is, it's like, let me pull up the calculator. Let me put me back on the screen. We're going to pull up the calculator and we can do the math. We got time. Let's do the math. So we're going to put in the volume for today, 8.60000. So this is the 8.6 million. I'm rounding it off. We're going to divide that by the average. So that's 1.7 million. So 5 times the volume that it usually gets on average. That's what we seen today. 5 times the volume, and the price went down significantly on significant volume. The price didn't go down significantly. It already went down significantly from that gap down that happened between Wednesday and Thursday. So it's still in like a downtrend, and this could be looked at as like a pattern. I can't think of the pattern right now. I think it's the inside day candle or whatever, but to me, it's still trending down. It's trading at 52-week lows, and these candles were 52-week lows before it fell down even further. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta look at what's going on. It could go up, it could keep going down, but as far as what I'm seeing, it's staying true to the trend. If it starts to recover, my first area for resistance would be at the $13.71. All right, so we covered Simply. Let's move on. Let's talk about this. Community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description and on the ticker that I just placed on the screen. So we are going to look at the S&P 500 index to see what they did today using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the S&P 500 index by tracking its performance. So let's go ahead and go back to the chart so we can look at that. So when we pull that up, let me take off this floating data box. That didn't work, did it? Off. So we got that off. We go up here to the symbol box. We're going to type in SPY. So now we have the SPY S&P 500 ETF trust pulled up. The name is right here. That's what I'm pointing at up here. We are not looking at Simply anymore. That's something else I could add. I could put in that we looking at the SPY. So when people, matter of fact, I'm going to do that now. Yep, I'm going to do that now. So just bear with me. I hope you guys had an awesome day. I really do. I hope you had an awesome day. My day is definitely getting better. I'm going to create this label right now. I'm going to create this label so we can put this on this screen. So if somebody joins the stream, they'll know what we're looking at. I don't want them to be trying to learn about the stock market and they're like, what is he looking at? What is on that screen? We about to put it on here right now. Right now. Make sure I spelled it right. Yes, we got everything up there. So we got the SPY up here. So that's what we're looking at. It's still holding above that support zone we drew not too long ago. We are looking at the 1 year daily chart. Here's today's candle, Thursday's candle, and Wednesday's candle. So this gap up from Tuesday to Wednesday, is the price is still trading above that window and it's still trading above support. Today's price is also still trading above the 9-day simple moving average, which is the dashed green line, and the dashed white line is the 200-day simple moving average. So it's still trading above both of those. Looked like it recovered pretty well, but even though the ETF is rising in price and going up, if we glance at the volume is trending down. It's going higher with lower volume. So today was the lowest volume out of Thursday and Wednesday. Wednesday had the highest volume when it gapped up, and now the volume is starting to fade off. And today is the end of the week. So this was the closing candle for the weekly candle. And the volume rank percentile was extremely poor. So we did the technical analysis. I'll hold the volume off until we do the ETF quote, because it's not a stock. So let's go ahead and go over that. So the SPY opened today at $681.32. They had a high today of $682.03. They had a low of $678.45, and they closed today at $679.46, which was a trading range of $3.58. So when we look at the trading volume for today of this ETF, they traded 250. Where did I get that from? 42.2 million shares of this ETF today. That's how many shares of this ETF they traded. And when we look at the average volume, they usually have 78.1 million shares of this ETF in a trading session. So that's significantly lower than what they usually get. And here was the previous volume. So this is the volume for Thursday, which was 57.1 million. So you can see that it's declining when you look at that. We don't have Wednesday up there, but we do see Thursday. So let me take this floating data box off, see if this works this time. Yes, it did. Okay, so we move that. Let me put me back on the screen. So when we look at the volume rank percentile, it was only 2.4%. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, only 6 days had lower volume than today. So it was very weak when it comes to volume, even though the price went up. So when you study technical analysis, you'll see that volume plays a role in the price direction as well. All right, so we covered the SPY. I don't see anything that didn't change too much from what we done already did with the SPY. So we can move on. Let me see where we at. Boy, I got a whole bunch of buttons on the stream deck now. Give me a second. We can go here. And now we can go to the prompter and we can talk about what we're going to do. So now we're about to look at today's winners and losers, the top winner and the top loser out of the S&P 500 index businesses, the companies that's in there. We're about to check that out. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. I like to save the best for last. So let's look at the loser first. So let's go back to the chart. Let's take this off. We're not looking at the SPY no more. So let's do the like button. That'll take it off. Do the light, and then we take that off. We don't need that right now. We're going to put up a ticker in a minute when we look at it. So we go to Market Watch, and I already have it pulled up, and I'm going to walk you through it just in case this is your first time. You go to the you go right here to this section. This is where your watch lists are going to be listed. Go down to Public, S-W, and you go right to the S&P 500 right here. The list comes up. Here's the percentage change. So we put it on the negative. So the biggest loser for today is ticker AKAM. Akamai. I hope I pronounced that right. They lost 16.66% today. So their previous close was $109.61. And today they closed at $91.35. So if someone had invested $1,000 and they suffered that 16.66% loss, they would have lost $166.60. So the way we do that, we multiply it times 0.1666. And there's the $166. We negate this, and then we add the $1,000 back to it, and it'll show you how much that person would have left from their initial investment, which was their investment principal. So their principal would have fell down to $833.40. They would be losing if they were in a long position. But okay, now we selected it. Let's go over to Analyze. When we go to Analyze, the ticker is AKAM. They are in the information technology sector. And now let me take me off the screen so we can show you this. Here's the company profile. And in this company profile, the company name, I believe, is Akamai or Akamai Technologies Incorporated. And here is their website. The link for their website is also down in the description for your convenience. I'm about to read some of this description. Akamai or Akamai Technologies Incorporated engages in the provision of security, delivery, and cloud computing solutions in the United States and internationally. It offers security solutions that include web application and application programming interfaces, API protection solutions, and I'm stopping right there because I feel ashamed. We got all this technology. I can look this up real quick and get the pronunciation for this company. I want to make sure that I'm saying this right. Ain't no reason to rush. I'm on the screen. Nope, you can't even see me. Put me back on the screen. I'm gonna pull the watch list up. You can look at the watch list. It's not moving, but you can look at this. You can read that data while I go over here and look this up so I can pronounce this right. I don't feel right. We're gonna start working on making sure we get all this stuff right. How do you pronounce this word? Make sure I spell it right. I'm not good at multitasking. Well, I got to be quiet when I'm typing. I'm liable to spell something wrong. Akamai. It's Akamai, not a cami. It's Akamai. So we know now for sure. It's Akamai. Akamai. We got it. So let's go to their website. I did this. So let's see what we got. Is that it? Yes. Yes. Now we need to take the ticker off the screen. I'm gonna get it. The more we do this, I'm gonna get it. We getting there. Zoom in. Let's zoom in. It looked like they got us zoomed out. So let's figure this out on the wrong screen. Let's zoom in. We already zoomed in. That's too big. So we're on the Akamai website. How to master agentic AI. Then we can Google that, or we can use AI to figure out what their actual goods and services are, just in case we didn't understand it in the description. Cloud computing, build applications anywhere. So let's find the about, try to find their, this is going to be something that's going to break this down about Akamai. Product solutions, I don't see. So they provide cloud security, and they talk about their global infrastructure there. This is talking about what they do there. So they're talking about why. I don't see anything in here about their purpose, their vision statement, their mission statement. I don't see it. Is there something at the bottom? About us. So here's the about us. Here's the history. Let's go here and see what we can find. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So they're giving you some stats about the company, the number of cities that use their cloud services, the number of employees they have around the world, their annual revenue last year. Okay. So they're talking about inclusion, diversity, the employees and things of that nature. They don't discriminate against any type of groups or people. Groups or individuals. That's what I meant by group. People. Locations. I don't see. No, I don't see. The links for this the link for this website is also down in the description for your convenience as well. For you to be able to scroll and look at what you want to look at. You might see something that interests you. I'm lost because I'm like, y'all don't have nothing up here. I'm gonna have to go over to ChatGTP or some type of AI program to figure out what the heck is going on. But we looked for that. So let's just move on. Isn't it careers? Let's go down to the bottom. Most of the stuff is down at the bottom. That's what I had seen. So here's careers. We looked at about us, but we didn't look at history. Let's look at the history. So here's their story. They have a video here. So grew out of February 1999. I'm trying to browse over it and see if I see anything that stands out to me, and I really don't. Facts and figures, they talk about the awards that they have. So let's look at that. So here's some awards that they've received that will make them stand out, I guess, against their competitors. So since this kind of sucks how I'm delivering this, I'm going to give you some game. I'm going to use something a little different real quick to give you some game. So let's say you wanted to find out who their competitors were. We're going to go to Yahoo. I'm going to bring this over on the screen so you can see it. Okay, so we're going to blow this up. And I'm going to give you this game. We'll do it this way because I don't like how I couldn't find anything about a vision, purpose, vision, mission, purpose, and all of that. So we go right here to finance and we put in their ticker symbol. AKAM. Now, when we put in their ticker symbol, I'm going to scroll down and see what I can find. Here, nope, that's not it. Right here. Here are similar, here's going to be their competitors. Similar companies right here. If you go to profile, I think it'll be a little bit cleaner. So I know where it is right here. So yeah, related tickers. This are going to be some of their competitors that they feel like compete for customers and clientele. These are other companies that are going to either offer the same goods and services or very similar to it. They deal and market to and provide services to the same type of customer. They're looking for the same thing that these businesses offer. These are their competitors for business. These are the other businesses they compete with for customers. So I gave you that. Feel a little bit better about that. So let's go back here. Now we go to the careers. We go down to the bottom, pick up with careers. So we can look if we can find any employee bit. It got videos, like video. And the links for this website is down, and the link for this website is down in the description for your convenience, so you can browse through anything that may be interesting to you. Akamai. I do not like running across these names that have me like nervous about saying them. Akamai. That's it. Now, this is a little bit more easy to understand and clear. So they provide security services for their cloud-based services. That's what I'm getting from this. They offer cloud services and security to protect cloud-based information and data. That's what I'm getting. Where are the benefits at? I don't see it. More videos. Name top place to work. Customer engagement. Nope. Featured roles. So you can search jobs right here. Talk about giving back. So here's the values when it deals with their employees. So here's some values, things that the company sees in themselves. I didn't see the purpose or the mission statement, but they don't use the same thing on these different websites. Some companies will tell you everything about their vision for how they see, how they offer their goods and their services to the employees, to the customers. It's a hit and miss. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So we looked at the competitors. We looked at the homepage. We looked at the goods and services. We didn't do the investors relations. So let's go down to the investors relations. I'm browsing over it and I don't see it. It's not standing out to me. It's not even under here. Here it is, investors relations. Boy, I don't know where my mind at. That's something else I gotta work on. I gotta look this stuff up before we even go live. That's what we gonna do. So I know where this is. We about to stop just browsing the website and looking around. I'm looking crazy. I don't know where none of this stuff is. This site all over the place. The other ones, I can just go straight to it. Boom, boom, boom. Here's this. This is where this at. We power and protect life on the line. Yes, security, data security, data. Where's the stock information? That's what we're here for. Company overview. No. Stock information right here. So quotes and charts. Here we are. So here's the stock quote. They trade on the NASDAQ, ticker AKAM. Here's the charts that they offer on the websites, on their web. Why do I keep saying, well, I don't know why I keep saying it like it's plural, on their website. On their website. Here are some tools that they offer. That's an investment calculator tool. Usually companies have that on their website. So let's go to think or swim. And look at this company on the charts. Oh, look at that huge red candle today. Did they have bad news today? So this is something new. This is the first time I done brought this up when we do live streams. Like sometimes you want to find out what the story is. Like usually there's going to be some type of news to explain what you looking at. Like why did this stock sell off like this? What was the loss? Let's go back to the, so they lost 16%, almost 17% in a day. No earnings. So it wasn't on earnings. And it fell down. Let's do some technical analysis. It's been trending up. So it closed below the 9 Thursday. Yesterday it closed behind the 9-day simple moving average, the dashed green line, but it's been trading well above the 200-day simple moving average since November. This is when it got above the 200, and it was trending. It was trending. Let's say trending. It was trending sideways for about 3 months. So from November 7th to January 12th, it was trending sideways. And this area of $90.04 was acting as support. As resistance. The price was coming to it and it was having a hard time getting above it. It tested it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The 4th time it came, it gapped above it, came back down and kind of danced on the top of it, tiptoed on the top of it because the resistance became support. Then it was trading above the 9 and it's just been trending up ever since. Well, not ever since, but for a while it's been on the uptrend. And then Thursday and today, that boy took a beating to the downside and came all the way back down to the $90.04. That's what blew my mind when I seen it. So let's see what news we can find. Let's do that today. Let's do something new with that. I'm looking for something, guys, because I know we had Yahoo open. I don't remember closing it, but I'm looking to see where it is. Let's just use this. Let's just use this. I believe I may have closed it. So we'll bring this over and blow this up. So we're going to go back to Yahoo Finance. Put the ticker symbol back in. Now, I haven't looked for news on Yahoo Finance before, but I'm using this because it's a free tool. And I want you to be able to find this information. So here's where it might be, right here where it says news. Now, recent news, AKAM. I don't see. This was 7 hours ago. Is this going? This doesn't look like it's specific to Akamai. Let's look over here. 3 profitable 1 day ago. Where is news about today? You telling me this stock lost 16% and there isn't any top news mentioning in the stock, like in the headline? Here it is. Okay, I see the company name right here. So this would give, why is it a video? So this is some type of story or news trying to explain or give you a story about why the stock declined. Let me see if I can find a cleaner explanation. cleaner or clearer, however you want to look at it, explanation about this on the Thinkorswim platform. So you can find news over here. And I'm not on the screen. I can't even see. I am on the screen. And I still had the ticker when we was looking at Yahoo Finance. Oh, well. So right here, I opened it. It opened in a whole nother window over here. So it's talking about what happened, but I don't see it actually explaining why it went down, which is interesting. So this is a whole bunch of stuff you got to dig through. So that's something else I'll work on to see if I can find a news resource that'll be helpful to you guys to be able to see, because some people want a story. Sometimes you're not going to find one. Sometimes you're not going to find one. They could tell you anything, and just because that story, that doesn't even necessarily justify, or it could explain it, like, because now you have a story, but it doesn't even mean that that's the real reason behind the move. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's just get the stock quote information for this, and we can move on to the biggest loser for tonight. So cut the floating data box back on. Here we are. So Akamai opened at $109.64. They had a high of $109.79. They had a low of $90.56, and they closed today at $91.35, which was a trading range of $19.22. And the volume, the trading volume, they traded 14.2 million shares of this stock today. And when we look at the average volume, take me off the screen, take the floating data box off. They usually trade about 3 million shares in a trading session. And today they traded 14. So I'm gonna round this up to 15 because I know 3 goes into 15 5 times. So they traded about 5 times the volume today. So when we look at the volume rank percentile, out of the most recent 252 trading days, only 3 days had higher volume than today. And the volume rank percentile was 98.8%. Wow. That's crazy. So everybody that purchased this stock and took a long position that bought it from the close today. So let me put the box here. So everybody that opened the long position that bought it in this shaded area, let's look at the closing price. So the closing price was $91.35. So I'm gonna edit the properties. We said it was $91.35. So now that box is perfect. So everybody that purchased this stock, it's not funny. I'm just saying how many people, it's ironic. That's why I'm laughing. They're losing if they open the long position. Everybody in this shaded area, because the closing price was today. So if they purchased it with a buy low, sell high strategy, they're underwater. They're losing. So you would have had to buy it below the shaded area if it was a long position in order to see a profit, because this is where the price is right now. All right, let's go to the winner. Let's go to the winner. So we go over to Market Watch, hit the percentage change, and here we are. So the winner for today is SMCI. They had an 8.79% gain today. Their previous close, which was Thursday, was $23.22. Today they closed at $25.26. So if someone invested $1,000 at this previous closing price, they would have been seeing a gain of $87.90. I'm just going to do it off the top of the head. We've been dragging kind of slow. So we're going to select this stock and go over to analyze. So we can see the ticker symbol SMCI. They're in the information technology sector. Take me off the screen. You know what I didn't put on the screen when we covered the Biggest Loser? Wow, I didn't put this on the screen. I did not put the ticker on the screen, but that's okay. We're going to get it together. So the company profile, Supermicro Computer Incorporated. That's the official name of the company. The link to their website is down in the description for your convenience. Here's the website here. So let's read a little bit of this. Supermicro Computer Incorporated, together with its subsidiaries, develops and sells server and storage solutions based on modular and open standard architecture in the United States, Asia, Europe, and internationally. So if you've been following me, this is an example of how I tell you they mention some international companies and then say internationally right behind it. There's a description that actually does what I make jokes about from time to time about why they do that. Why they do that? Why they be doing that? So let's move on to the winner website. I'm looking at something on my keyboard. That's not the one. So we go here. There's SMCI. Let's take this ticker off the screen. There we go. But we can put the winner ticker back up. Yes, we can. There we go. See, it's looking a little better. I just need to get better now. We got the visuals. We got the visuals. I'm over here messing up. So this moves. So I remember the last time we was visiting their website, trying to keep up with what's on the screen, reading it, and they keep moving it. You're going to go crazy. So what makes SMCI stand out from their competitors, like large competitors like Dell and what's another company like Hewlett Packard and things like that? Those companies sell everything, like printer, they sell everything. So they're not specialized. This company is specialized when it comes to selling data center setups. So they make custom data center solutions and servers specific to the customer. And since that's all they do, they compete better with the larger companies because this is what they do. They don't do anything else. All of their resources go towards this in particular service. So they are the cream of the crop when it comes to servers and data solutions customized for their customer. You can go somewhere else, but that's not what the company's main focus is. So this is what makes them competitive in that space. That's what makes Supermicro stand out. And recently they had some scandal going on with the director. I think he was the director. It was a high up guy, one of the board of directors guy, one of the main guys in the company. So he was accused of selling microchips and processors and things or something to China or exporting them outside of the country, breaking international trade law because supposedly we have limitations on what type of chips we export outside the country. We control the level of technology that exits the United States and goes to another country. I wish I could say that a lot better. It's a lot of things going through my mind, but you can look it up. Just look it up so you can see what I'm talking about and you'll see what happened. So because of that, when we look at the charts, I'll explain that that's what you're seeing on the charts when we look that up. So we know what the goods and services are. So let's go to the company profile. We're looking for vision, mission statement, purpose, things like that. Let's go back to 150. So this is the company profile, first to market innovation. The link to this website is down in the description for your convenience. I'm just browsing over it to see if I see anything that jumps out. We offer a broad range of application optimized server solutions serving various markets. So this is what I was telling you that makes them stand out from other companies that also offer server setups. This is what they do. They specialize in that. So when you want that work, they're the company that most companies go to when they really want something special and customized, because this is what they do. This all they do. Yeah, they took that guy down. He's not, I don't think they have him on the website no more. But yeah, the stock took a beating when that scandal news broke out. I believe the stock was like around $31, and it was $19. It was around $20 or $19 overnight. It lost $10 in one night because of that news when it came out. So company profile, we talked about that. We looked. So now let's look at careers. You can't see it because I'm on the screen. So let me take me off the screen so you can see it. Right here, we're going to go to careers. Help drive the future of super micro. So they talk about their values. They talk about what makes the company special. I'm looking to see if they have anything in there in particular that jumps out at me. No, I don't see it. This is the values they see or they want for their employees. So here's where they talk about the benefits. So they say learn more. The company pays their medical. It says 100% of it. Compensation. And different insurance programs, supplemental life, discounts for the employees. They even feed you, say weekly breakfast, daily breakfast, and weekly fresh fruit. Weekly fresh fruit. They feel like that's important enough to put on the website. So it's there. Hey, we got some healthy food for you. You want to work here. If you on a diet, you want to work here, we give you that. We give it to you. So they telling you the different jobs around the world. Look at this, man. Look at this data center right here. Is that AI? Like, is this real? Is this actually outside? Like, is this supposed to be? I know that sounds like a crazy question, but it's just the way the picture look. Who knows? I don't even know. Like, what's the point? I can't tell. I can't tell. But yeah. Green computing. Let's just read a little bit of it. It doesn't mention anything about it being outside. Like, ain't that dangerous? Like, can water get in there, or they just did this to tie the idea together that this helps the environment? I'm trying to see. Who knows? Whatever. Let's move on. So let's go to the investors relations. So it's behind me on the screen again. So let me take me off so you can see where it is. It's right here. Investor relations. Put me back. Put me back. There I am. Here's the stock information on the left-hand side. We most likely click on this and it will take us to the stock quote. Here's some more information. Remember, the link is down in the description for your convenience if you want to look over this stuff a little bit more on your own time. So let me go ahead and look at the top. So here's the stock details and analyst coverage. I'm going to click here and then we'll come back and see if we can click it. So here's the stock quote. Here's the chart that they offer. Here's some more tools that they have. And they even have an alert service for you to sign up through email to find out about things that's going on with the company. Let me go back and I'm gonna click on this and see where it takes us. It takes us to the same page. So that's what's available on the website. So let's go to Thinkorswim. Let's go back to the Thinkorswim platform. We already have SMCI pulled up. And I can show you where that gap down happened on that bad news. And I don't think I'm going to be able to pull up. So remember how we were looking for news and things like that? Right here in this section. So see, with this one, it's explaining why the stock went up. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Like when we looked at Akamai. When we looked at Akamai, they didn't have a story that really explained why the stock went up. Now, when we look at this one, it's explaining it. So it says the shares rallied on Friday because the company sped up the way they deploy their servers. They're getting the products out to their customers faster. That news is the story behind why people got excited about the company. So if they have these servers ready to ship and they got a bunch of orders coming in, they're meeting them orders fast. So that means that's going to help that company satisfy the orders faster and bring that money in faster, depending on how the payment and things are set up with their customers. But see how this one actually explained it. The other one, it was just saying a whole bunch of hoopla. You couldn't make out what the story was behind the price move to the downside when we looked at Akamai. Yes, Akamai. Man, that company got me stuck up in the head. Like, is it Cami or Akamai? But they said my. So here was the gap down on that terrible news about what was going on with the gentleman that worked for the company. We did it earlier. Let's just do the research. So let's go to Yahoo Finance and see if they mention anything about it. Blow this up. Let me see if I can find it. He stepped down. I know that the guy stepped down. So see how all of these are stories now? So let's go to news, and we're looking for headlines that have the ticker symbol in it or the company name. I'm blocking it. Oh my gosh. Here we go. So when I click on news, you can see the company name in the headline. Like when we was looking at the other, let me type it in. Akamai. Oh my goodness. Akamai. When we looked at the news, see, now we pulled up Akamai. Oh my gosh, y'all just gonna get tired of me saying this. And they talking about SMCI. That's not even who I have pulled up right now. So that's what I was looking for. I'm looking for their name in this headline and what's coming up. This was the biggest news in that sector today. So the information technology sector, SMCI, was showing up in that sector's news. I'm expecting this to pull up news that have Akamai in the headline, and that's what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing it. Everything is SMCI. So let's put SMCI back in. Click news. Yeah, so here's the story behind why that stock went up today. And where is that? Happened a while ago. So let's see, search for news, SMCI director steps down. I've never tried this way before, but let's just see. No, this ain't gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. So let's try this a different way. Google SMCI director, SMCI director steps down. So here's the information. This area right here. Let me blow this up and zoom in. So what I was talking about earlier, so it was to China. He was accused of smuggling billions in US AI chips to China. So the guy was a co-founder and a board member of the company. And he resigned a day later, or like the day after the news had broke out about it. So that's what I was talking about. And I was doing a horrible job explaining it. But we have technology now, guys, where there's no excuse not to know something. Just look it up. Just look it up. Put me back on the screen. Just look it up. You ain't got to stay ignorant. Look it up. That's what I was talking about. So did we do the stock? No, because we've been talking about everything. We went on the website, so now we're supposed to be looking at Thinkorswim. So here's where they are. Because it gapped down so bad, I would say the resistance for this stock, I just put it at the bottom of a wick back there. It's going to be more likely going to be a zone, but let's say $27.75 is going to be the first area of resistance. But the idea is that it's going to close this window. So whatever the low was on this candle, the $29.79, the price could go up, it could go down, but the way it's trending, if it is recovering, it would likely pull back here. It'll start to pull back here or pull back here. It would make it up to either one of these lines and then start to pull back before it resumed the uptrend. That's my technical analysis from what I'm seeing. But as far as right now, the stock is trading above the 9-day simple moving average. The dashed green line is still trading below the 200-day simple moving average, the dashed white line. So let me pull up my floating data box. We'll talk about the stock price today. So SMCI opened at $23.64. They had a high of $25.55. They had a low of $23.64. And they closed today at $25.26, which was a trading range of $1.91. And the trading volume, they traded 43.5 million shares of this stock today. And when we look at the volume rank percentile, that was 81%. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, let me take the floating data box off. Only 48 days had more volume than today. Let me take me off the screen so I can show you this. So the average volume for SMCI is 35 million shares traded in a trading session. And today they did 43.5 million. So we can glance at it and see it's higher. Also, it was increasing volume. So on Thursday, it was 28.6 million shares traded in that session. And then today it was 43.5. So glancing at it, it was over 10 million more today. So we can see the volume increasing from Thursday to Friday as the price is going up. So that was another thing I was talking about with the technical analysis. Where we at with the time? Oh man, we did a whole hour. I didn't even know I was messing up, but we got an hour in. We did an hour. Yep, we did an hour, even though I messed up like I normally do. We did an hour. We got Friday out this week done. I'm going to practice over the weekend and get some more stuff together. But man, I'm feeling good because we got a live up every night. So you already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the whole life insurance link I have down in the description. And make sure you tune in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's easy to get notified because all of next week's upcoming live streams are scheduled and they already up on the channel. So take care and God bless. Bam.